Ready, you go ahead.
Raise your hand if any of you play sports or like to watch sports. Okay. If so, what kind of sports would you like to watch or play?
Football.
Football. I assume the Packers.
Uh-huh.
For me, that sport is basketball. Basketball has been around for a very long time, and when I was in middle school, I loved everything about it. I'm sure some of you have a certain love or passion for some sport or other activity. Basketball is very important to me because I love to play this sport and because I felt like basketball is very important to me because I love to play this sport. I felt like maybe everyone would like to know some information about basketball because maybe you go to the school games and have no clue what's going on. But to learn the basics of it, it is good to learn the history first. You might already know a thing or two of basketball because I know most of you go to the school games. As I have mentioned before, basketball has been around for a very long time. This means a lot of things has changed throughout the years, such as rules, the courts, the goals, uniforms, and the basketball itself. The sport of basketball has come a long way since its invention in 1891 by Dr. James Naismith, which I read in an article named The History of Basketball, which was written by a basketball coach. So much has changed through the years. Rules to the game has changed. Courts and goals have been updated. Style of the uniforms and the ball has been changed. Every sport you play will have rules, and rules will change throughout the years of that sport. When basketball was first invented, it consisted of 13 rules. It consists of being able to throw the ball with one or two hands and can be thrown in any direction. Players are not allowed to run with the ball. They have to catch it and they can't move. If a team makes 3 consecutive fouls, the other team automatically gets a free point. The judge is to keep track and let the referee know when 3 consecutive fouls have been made. Players are not allowed to shoulder, hit, push, or trip other players. If a player receives a foul, then the second foul shall disqualify him until the next point is made. Today, the same rule applies. Players can throw the ball in any direction with 1 or 2 hands, but instead, they are allowed to catch the ball and dribble it. In basketball today, a player gets 5 fouls. One thing different that a player does not have to do is sit out of the game and wait for a basket to be made. And wait for a basket to be made. Players today still cannot shoulder, hit, push, or trip the opponents. They will receive a foul. Also, if a team makes 3 consecutive fouls, the other team does not get a free point. Rules in basketball have been updated through the years, yet they still make changes today. Some changes have also been made to the court and backboards, also known as rules. Basketball was originally played with just peach baskets, but now is played with an actual goal and court. When Dr. James Naismith invented basketball, he hung 2 peach baskets 10 feet off the ground, and that was the goal. A basketball court originally had a cage around it. Basketball court originally had a cage around it, and in fact, it was called the cage game, and the players were known as cagers. It also kept people from interfering with the players in the game. This I read in another basketball article called The Evolution of Basketball, which was made by a basketball company called Hoop Tactics. This cage was made out of chicken wire, and it made the games go by faster because it eliminated the chance of the ball going out of bounds. The cage was made out of, the basketball hoop or goal was originally peach baskets. But later throughout the years, they changed it to a glass backboard and a metal rim. This increased the game tempo because the ball would fall through the hoop, and instead of the peach baskets, the ball would fall in the peach basket. Someone would have to go retrieve the ball. It's pretty interesting how much these things have changed with the advancement of technology. What was even more interesting is how the style has changed uniform and how technology has changed the ball itself. As the years go on, style in society changes, which means uniforms get updated to a trend. Even with the technology, the ball is also updated for better performance. In the 1920s, a basketball uniform consisted of medium-length shorts and a tight-fitted sleeveless jersey, which was stated in basketball uniform history, which was made by Epic Sports. According to Basketball Uniform History article, in 1984, the legend Michael Jordan revolutionized the game and look. Jordan had requested his team was be given longer shorts. Other NBA teams and college teams followed Jordan's trend. First ever basketball games were played with a soccer ball, like that one, right? But the soccer ball proved to be hard to dribble and control, according to the evolution of the game article. The first basketballs were made by a bicycle company, but later, by the 1890s, Spalding took over and started manufacturing basketballs. Today, a basketball uniform is lightweight and dry-fitted. This makes them not so baggy and more comfortable and also more appealing to players. Basketball today has been modernized for the best performance, by which makes a basketball with good bounce and greater material to control the ball with dribbling. That's what they use today. As I've mentioned before, basketball has been around for a very long time. This means a lot of things has changed throughout the years, such as rules, courts, goals, uniforms, and the basketball. As I have said, basketball has been through dramatic changes throughout the course of time. We have learned how rules, courts, rules, and basketballs have been changed throughout this time. Basketball has been something I have enjoyed watching and playing since middle school. If you have something you enjoy or love doing, stick with that. Keep doing whatever it is you enjoy or love to do. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's give a round of applause.